studio. I've been away for a while. I've been doing some training, been taking on new staff, but I'm back now and I'm ready to share some interesting cases with you. This particular one here was very difficult. We have here a sort of encrusted mass of dead skin and wax very deep in the ear. And as I push this mass, you see on the right hand side of the frame here, as I push in, you see all this fluid emerging. Do you see that? So this mass isn't cemented, it isn't adhered to the ear, which is a good sign. I know that there's fluid behind it. But it was an extremely difficult case. It's made more difficult for two reasons. One, it's concave. And that means that there's wax around the sides, which is, again, helping it kind of adhere and cement the canal walls, not the eardrum, the canal walls. And that is very difficult to move away. The other reason that it's a challenging case is because I think what's happened here is that not only has the patient pushed the wax further down, but at some point he's used some drops, some softening drops to soften or dissolve the earwax. And it's softened a little bit, it's liquefied a little bit, and then he's given up. And the wax has, the liquefied debris has crept into all the little recesses and gaps. You have a trench just in front of the eardrum, down below to the side, so that's the inferior recess and anterior recess. So the wax has kind of crept into those recesses and then solidified again, so plenty of time to firm up and harden. And as you can see here, I'm going in at full strength with a fine end suction probe. And I can kind of move it around, but it's really, really tough stuff. It's hard nails. And you may be thinking at this point, well, can't you just kind of go on the side or do something different with it? The reason that I'm being a little bit careful here is because we're so close to the eardrum. The skin in this part of the ear canal is extremely sensitive. And when you're working this deep in the ear, this close to the eardrum, the last thing you want to do is, apply a little bit too much pressure or just nick the side of the canal, make the patient jump, cause some bleeding, and then you're in trouble. The other thing is, at this point in the procedure, I didn't know how thick the plug of debris was. So I didn't know if the eardrum was a millimetre behind the plug, or if I had a couple of metres of buffer between the plug and the eardrum. So in that sense, I was a little hesitant to kind of jostle it around and be a bit rough with it. The patient was fairly tolerant, and throughout the procedure I kept on asking, is this okay, is this hurting, is this hurting? And he put on a brave face. I could tell he was quite uncomfortable, but as far as I could tell, it was hurting. So I've applied some olive oil here, just in the hopes that it will do something. It will lubricate the canals, and maybe some of the oil will creep behind the plug of debris, and maybe just kind of lift it a little bit. But at this point, I'd sort of run out of ideas, to be quite frank with you. Now, usually I would put some sodium bicarb in, send the patient away for a couple of hours and tell them to come back, or rebook them for a different day. But this patient was going travelling the next day, so I really wanted to get this out. Again, going in here now with a regular size suction probe. So what you've seen before is sort of the fine end, it's just a very thin suction probe with a smaller diameter. This is a regular one, and you can see just the powder and how it's sucking up all the excess olive oil. Even this is not making much progress, and it's not necessarily because the suction is too weak. It's just that the surface of the plug is so hard, it's so crusty, and it's concave, remember, the suction probe cannot latch onto it. So if you have a concave surface and you have a suction probe, it's not really going to interface very well. It's not going to grab it very well. So I'm going in here with a cold probe. I'm not really looking to remove the debris, but I'm just looking to move it around. I'm just looking to disturb it. And again, it looks as though I'm not really doing much to it, but I am in fact just sort of disturbing the debris and loosening it up a little bit. Again, I'm working this close to the eardrum, this deep in the ear, with any kind of that's now going to allow me to lift up the surface of this plug. So again, these types of extractions where stuff is on the drum or you've got a plug very deep in the ear, they aren't usually this difficult. But watch this lip here. You see this lip of the plug that I'm just lifting up? Look how rigid that is. It's not flexing. It's as rigid as plastic or cardboard. You know, dead skin and wax should not be that hard. So it should deflect and be manipulated by the suction coil. So that's how hard it is. And if you look at the top left of the ear canal, that's really where I should have been paying a lot of attention. But that's kind of my weak area, top left, because I'm right-handed. It's very difficult for me to get a fine end up in that corner. Now I'm just wiggling it just to loosen it up here, and you can see the oil now is starting to contribute. It's lubricating the canals and it's producing that friction just so I can start to move around. But because I've edited the video, it looks like it wasn't too much of a difficult case, but I did spend off camera, which is edited out, I spent quite a lot of time just kind of getting a feel for it and probing and kind of assessing the situation. So this is a kind of best case scenario here. Now that I'm pulling it out, again, it is a very awkward shape, but when I pull it out, you'll see just how concave it is. And the back end of the plug wasn't in contact with the eardrum, not at all. So that's probably why the patient was able to tolerate the procedure. You can see it's still anchored down there. So pulling it out, and I think at this point it gets trapped. So that it's an awkward shape, and as you can see, I'm struggling with it. So at this point, I think it's just solid. I'll get it. So we go back in, and again, because it's so hard and crusty, it's much better just to get it a little bit more convenient to get it through. There we go. So we'll take a look at it with the endoscope, and you can see right there, see how it's kind of like a cave? That's why it was so difficult and so resistant to the suction. There's the eardrum, and as you can see, the eardrum is stained yellow.